Uwu, I'm uwubito. This is the fourth part to Hooked on You, a game where you can date serial killers. So, I'm gonna start reading now. What a fun day you've been having. I can see it written all over your face. You're shining, and that's not just the remaining anxious sweat from spending an afternoon courting a psycho killer. No, you are really feeling this whole romantic experience. Don't worry. I'll keep your dirty little secrets. But enough gentle ribbing. It's time to get back to business. All the appetizing singles have arrived for dinner, including Trickster. Wraith is here too. We're not going to do the gag where we cram all of them on screen the same time again. So just believe me, they're all here, and they're just as sexy and demented as you remember them. With your love on the line, everyone is being very careful not to offend you by saying the wrong thing. Congrats, by the way, on getting this far. I'm as surprised as you are that these four are falling for you. No, not because of your personality, but because you just met them yesterday. However, since Wraith seems like the biggest long shot to end up holding on to your heart, he throws caution to the wind and speaks up. It's a pretty small consolation prize for being the least loved killer on Murderer's Island. But hey, letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least we can do. And heaven knows they won't do any better than that. Letting them have this one moment in the spotlight is the least. Hey, behavior, y'all need to fix that. I still love you though. I'm sick of watching everyone else gorge themselves while I'm preoccupied with, trying to get to the bottom of this never-ending nightmare. So tonight, none of that. I'm not really hungry anyway, so I say we just do a simple salad or something. The green kind, not the mayo kind. Mayo is gross. I'm fine with just lettuce. It doesn't have to be fancy. Not iceberg, though. It has no nutritional value. Letting Wraith choose was a mistake. That's on all of us.
Dinner will be served shortly, but certain power brokers would like to know about your day.
Would you like to share your day with the rest of the group? You've had an interesting day, that's for sure. But how will you describe it to the others? Say too much or too little and it could affect your standing with the group. Okay, but don't just sit there and say nothing. Nothing is not an option. Should I be coy or gush? I'll be coy. It wasn't really a date, more like two people avoiding everyone else and choosing to be alone, but doing it in relatively close proximity to each other. That's exactly right. Couldn't have not said anything of value better myself. I'm glad I picked the right one. Spirit is clearly happy with the way you portrayed your date. No surprise, she doesn't like people getting into her business. Dwight and Claudette bring out dinner. Everyone eats in silence, but no one trusts anyone now. And they are all very tired. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's a dreary supernatural horror thrilling set in Antarctica. Not a charming parody dating sim set in undisclosed tropical paradise. Bony appetite. Don't you mean Bon?
No, almost everything we served has a lot of bones in it. Even the vegetables.
Impossible to avoid on this island. Everyone eats without speaking. Tensions are rising, both of the sexual and deadly variety. When everyone finishes, Dwight and Claudette come back to clean up the table. They linger around you as they pick up your plate, take your napkin, and dust crumbs off the table. What would you like to say to the servants? I'm gonna be nice. Your top-notch service is much appreciated. Everyone, if you would please be so kind as to follow us to the fire pit, we'd greatly appreciate it. We've been told something big is going to happen. Something that will change everything. You can go,
You can go willingly, or you can go unwillingly. You have no choice. Tough cookies.
Did you have a choice on how you said that, dweeb?
Yes, and I immediately regret I did.
Good. Something needs to change around here. Fire is rebirth. Fire illuminates the soul. I hope the fire isn't too smoky. Smoke hurts my eyes. I have pretty sensitive eyes. I'm also horribly afraid of it. The fire, I mean, not my eyes. Because of childhood trauma involving fire. And finally, everyone starts moving towards the fire pit. If only to get away from Wraith's complaining. You take a seat on a comfortable log, feeling the fire's heat against your skin, and wait for other killers to take their places, wondering who will want to tell a story this time. Will narrator tell a story? I bet they've got a stunningly creative mind. Hey, you think, are they allowed to simply place thoughts in a mind like this? Doesn't seem fair. Everyone makes their way in, but something unexpected happens. Nothing. Nothing happens. Something almost always seems to be happening here, so nothing is probably not a great sign. Oh, cool. And now everyone is looking at you. So, you know, do something. Can I hit him with a Dougie? Can I just, like, some Fortnite dances and shit? Should I pick someone to tell a story? Or we could play charades? Boggle? Well, we were actually thinking, why don't you tell us a story? Wraith points his spine and skull staff thingamajig at you. You duck out of its way. Who knows what that thing can do? Probably shoot lasers.
Try not to bore us.
We're just very interested in you. Don't speak for me, Huntress. Now you can't tell if you're warm from the fire or if it's your nerves heating up. I know the fire is right here, but maybe if we stop talking about it all the time, we can start to pretend it's not here and doesn't, you know, threaten to burn us all alive. He's not supposed to hear me. Get out of here, Wraith. Uwubito was about to make an important decision about telling a story or not. I'll tell a story. Sure, I'm game. I hope it's a mystery. Okay. So, what type of story do you want to tell? I want to tell a romance. I'm gonna tell a romantic story. About two lovers who take poison together and die foaming at the mouth? Or about two strong hunters who meet when they're both trying to They may both try to bludgeon the same Willy Wolverine. Not quite. It's about my parents. They met at a party in college. He was hosting, she'd been dragged there by some friends. They couldn't have been more different, and yet, as the night went on, they were drawn to each other. She made fun of his taste in music, and he took an interest in her major, women's studies. They were married within 2 months.
Bit soon to know if you could trust someone, don't you think?
It's so sweet. Exactly. I learned a lot about love from them. If you know, you know. Some people don't need years to get acquainted with their partner. Love could spark from a mere look across a campfire. Now you've got their attention. Each killer is furiously attempting to catch your eye from across the fire pit. Except for Trickster, who has wandered over the bar and is loudly playing his own music on headphones to drown you out. Okay, that was not a very good story. I don't mean to insult you, but it was actually quite bad. Sorry. But this narrator keeps it real, and we can't just end there. Who else would you like to hear a story from tonight? You look from killer to killer, trying to decide who might be the most entertaining. I suppose I could tell a story. I don't really want to, but anything I say is sure to be better than whatever you get out of anyone else in this group. Like all good stories, I stole this one from someone in the past who is dead now and can't do anything about it. It's called The Bride, or technically I suppose, The Fiancé. One winter, a young couple decided that the next spring they would be married. The two were madly in love and could not wait for the snow to melt, so they could join in matrimony and unite their souls for eternity. Per the latest bridal trends, they decide to have their wedding ceremony at the edge of the woods by a beautiful, shabby, chic farmhouse. Together, they spent months planning the details of the wedding. The two created invitations, figured out seating arrangements, and tasted 100 cakes before settling on the perfect one. They chose Lilikoi? By the way, what the fuck is Lilikoi? Oh, it's just a yellow passion fruit. Why couldn't they just say that? Who the fuck knows what... I mean, to be fair, I'm not really a big... healthy boy, so I don't really know that passion fruits are considered lilikoi. Okay. When it came time to figure out the decorations, however, the bride, or the fiancé, I guess, since she wasn't actually married yet, wanted to take the lead and set the style. After all, her boyfriend had been wearing cargo shorts and open-toed sandals for pretty much their entire relationship, so he was definitely not to be trusted. Having decided on such a lovely natural setting for the ceremony, the fiancé decided that she would create unique floral arrangements from the local wildflowers that surrounded the farmhouse. As soon as the sun rose on the first day of spring, she set off into the woods. Each day she spent hours mapping out where the best blooms could be found, and prepared to pick them herself in the morning of the wedding, so that they'd be at the height of their freshness and beauty. Enamored with the incredible variety of flowers in the woods she surveyed, the fiance, since they had not been married yet, became obsessed with knowing just how many there were, so that she could choose the absolute best. When the fateful morning of her big day finally came, the fiancée told her husband-to-be that she had one final errand before the wedding. Excited for the ceremony to come, she dressed in her beautiful white gown and set off into the woods to gather flowers. Treading carefully, she followed her route, selecting only the best stems and collecting them in a basket. However, when she came upon a once familiar clearing, something was not as she expected. Somehow it was more beautiful now than it had ever been before. And just on the edge of her view was a new bush filled with blossoms so vibrant and colorful, she became dizzy just looking at them. But the fiancé ignored her sudden spell and pressed ahead, scooping up flower after flower, and every time she did, she noticed just further ahead, impossibly, even more beautiful blossoms. Carried by the sweet fragrance of spring air, the fiancé crept farther and farther into the woods until she turned a corner, stepped over a mossy fallen tree trunk, and realized she had been here before. But this wasn't the clearing she remembered, or at least, now that she remembered it, the flowers were suddenly overripe, decaying, falling from their stems into festering moldy piles on the floor. Where bees have been, now only flies buzzed. Where the scene of flowers had once intoxicated her, the odor of mildew now made her sick. She turned and looked back, and the path was dark. Into a shadowy glen she walked and walked and walked. That day, as guests gathered at the farmhouse, the fiancée was nowhere to be seen. Her friends, family, and love began to look for her, but to no avail. They searched the pasture, the tree line, and into the forest, but there was no beautiful wildflowers or young lovers to be seen. Just old dead trees, trampled vines, and moss-covered rocks. The fiancé stayed a fiancé for eternity, always wandering, looking for fresher blossoms to clip, but never finding them. Distracted by a never-ending search for perfection, unable to see that you are loved for who you are, out there all alone. I thought it was beautiful and sad, just like someone we know.
How is story time? A lot of people like to take pop shots in sequels, but I think very good stories deserve a follow-up.
When you think it's the end, the sequel is almost never as rewarding as the original. That's why I'm much more of a fan of the episodic style of storytelling. Knowing it's a series takes a lot of pressure off of any individual installment. It builds a greater sense of community between audience and creator.
Tell me, uwubito, if you could delete any sequel from existence, what would it be?
Don't answer that. We don't actually care. We're just here to make sure that we seamlessly move on to the next segment of the evening.
God forbid my small talk get in the way of a romantic Twilight moment.
Dwight, I'm gonna need you to shut your yap trap. You know that we need to get back to that thing we do whenever we're not on screen.
Okay. You have fun tonight and try not to wink end up dead.
Why did you say the words wink wink out loud? And what kind of double entendre are you getting at with the end up dead thing? Dwight is physically incapable of winking, not since the accident. And you do know that all of these people are despicable criminals with double-digit kill counts, right? Well, except for Spirit. She really doesn't belong here. She's strictly a victim, not a perpetrator. No wonder she's pissed.
Did I hear somebody trash talking Spirit? Deal me in. What do you say? We take this talk to the hot tub so I can soak my body while I roast that ghost with some killer hot takes.
Please, enough talk of burns. Things that are lit or getting blazed. It's enough that these activities have to be set next to a literal fire. Must I be surrounded by figurative flames as well? What if we turned and ran as far away from this place as we could? Just you and me. On those spindly legs? Fuck me. You'd probably tire before you got too far. And if it's running away to some place more secluded, Uwubito is after, they should probably join me. Have you seen these legs? Pure power. Not that my walk speed really reflects my giant stature, but that's because I choose to move slowly for stealthy reasons. It's my own choice, and it's not completely logical. And it's completely logical. LOL. Why is everyone so obsessed with comparing themselves to each other and creating drama? I'm so over all of that. Don't you get it? Society wants to trick you into fighting with each other so that the corporations can swoop in and sell you fake solutions to all your fabricated problems. I'll be sitting in the shade and drinking something locally sourced while thumbing through a public domain novella printed on recycled paper because I refuse to play their game anymore.
It's like she's actively trying to be as unappealing as possible. Does it really turn anyone else on, or is it just me?
Despite Trapper's insatiable appetite, it seems his attention, along with the attention of everyone else, is still on you for the moment. If you could, I don't know, just pick one of us, maybe we could all move on with our lives, or, some special projects we might have going. You heard him. Who will it be? Who will you head off with for an evening activity? I'm just saying, you may not get a ton of chances to date around like this before your time on Murder's Island comes to a close. And no, I'm not satisfied with that name either. But with this streaming reality TV dating show boom happening, it's pretty much all that wasn't taken. Which killer will you pick? And yes, we're back to excluding Trickster because, that guy. I want my baby! Spirit? Oh, you picked me? Yay! Sorry, that was rude of me. I despise phoniness, so I should be honest with you. You make for interesting company, and I love the idea of winning over these killers at all costs, even when I hate the game and the prize. But I had a long day. Floating, subverting expectations, grinding my teeth as I imagine sweet, sweet revenge. It takes a lot out of me. So, don't stop bringing your A game, alright? It might seem like I hate everything, and getting to really know who I am is an impossible task, not worth trying, but too bad. You won't know unless you search deep inside yourself and bring everything you've got. Or just say the exact right thing at the right time and melt my cold heart in an instant. I don't know the rules here any better than you do. See you at the bar, I guess. You arrive at the bar to find Dwight and Claudette both holding cocktail shakers surrounded by a bevy of bottles for assorted booze.
Who's ready?
To get wasted? Well, I don't drink, so not me. You really don't drink? Ever? Is that like because it will fall out of the hole in your stomach thing, or
I don't drink alcohol because alcohol is poison of the body and the mind. And I don't need to act like a fool to have a good time thing. And why did you choose a mixology lesson for your romantic nighttime activity?
everyone knows this kind of date is just an excuse to get loaded up on booze and make terrible decisions.
It's true. Not a single person has ever learned anything at one of these things.
Dwight, now that's not true. You learned how to tie a cherry knot in a stem using only your tongue.
Whoa. Whoa! Who ordered the soda with a splash of my private business? Because that's off menu.
Well, I know what I'm drinking to forget tonight. Mixology is a real thing, and it doesn't require alcohol to be interesting. I'll have you all know that I worked at a restaurant before I was violently executed. By your father.
On whom you will have your bloody vengeance? Right. Well, so be it.
How about you, Ubito? Do you drink? I've got the impression that tonight will be a night I want to remember perfectly, so I'm gonna pass on the alcoholic drinks. Hear, hear. Alcohol is a false escape. Besides, it's not like sober people can't have fun. You watch a spirit picks up a plump cherry and roughly stabs a little plastic sword through it. Cherry juice splatters everywhere, and its little fruit guts flop out on the spirit's lap. Oopsie. One of the upsides of wearing black, it hardly shows stains. That's a fact. That's why I always wear black. No take-backsies.
So, lovebirds, what drink shall we make?
How about a dark and stormy drink for my dark and stormy date? Okay, that one is cute. Hey, I'm good with the ladies, what can I say?
Please allow us to demonstrate how a dark and stormy is made.
First, rum, or in this case, rum extract, and a bit of apple juice is poured over ice.
And then fresh ginger beer is added in.
Garnish with a lime wheel.
And drink. The end.
Do you think you're up for the challenge of replicating this recipe, Ubito? Replicating? Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice?
Don't forget the lime wheel.
Rum substitute and ginger beer over ice with a lime wheel. Not sure I appreciated your tone, but yes, you've got it. You're a natural. A sassy natural. You and Dwight might have more in common than don't you dare. Spirit seems to be in a lovely mood as she sips her drink, her dark and stormy. She's not even rolling her eyes at your petty behavior. On cue, a literal dark storm begins to make its way to the ocean. You taste your own dark and stormy as you watch the clouds approach. It's quite refreshing. Isn't this fun? Honestly, it's the most drama-free fun I've had since I've got here. And since you picked a simple but delicious drink, we've got plenty of time left to relax. Want to make out a little?
Yes, please.
You breathe it. You breath in a sip. I'm assuming it's supposed to be breathe. You breathe in a sip of your drink and immediately begin coughing before you can get a yes out. Lightning strikes a palm tree on the beach and immediately starts a fire. The activity ends abruptly as Claudette and Dwight usher the two of you away from the bar.
I'm so pissed. Fuck nature, dude. Ah.
The gang's all together again on the volleyball court. Seems like only yesterday you were sitting on the sidelines watching everyone get sweaty. That's because it was? Oh, it feels like I've been here a lot longer than that. Longer than that, actually. I cannot fucking read today. It's so late that the sun is already beginning to rise. Better get this over with quickly so that you can get some beauty rest. I do not recommend the eternal damnation of perpetual narratordom. Good thing you've really used your time well since then. Really getting to know the gang. The brain, the mongol, the basket case, the psychotic bunny girl. You know, the 4 types of people. Anyway, everyone is gathered on the volleyball court for a new type of game. Pitch your dream date and see who uwubito chooses.
Who's ready for a round robin?
How round are we talking?
No, not to eat, Huntress.
Each killer gets 2 minutes to tell you about their dream date and they have planned for you tomorrow. In no particular order, which is a weird thing to mention, right? Almost like the order does matter. Trapper, why don't you go first? I think you deserve it. Even in this case, it's a subtle dig. Stop talking. Trapper, without further ado, would you like to make us all uncomfortable by pushing the boundaries of what's acceptable and about what's acceptable not only in polite society but within the narrative of this in-world event, and also the larger meta-narrative of Dead by Daylight dating experience?
Sometimes you just gotta say it.
Well, yes, thank you, I'd love to. So, uwubito, you're thinking of picking me? Well, this is your final warning. Pick me and be punished and rewarded. Tomorrow will suck, probably. I'm not an easy guy to get along with, I know that. But I can tell you this much. I'm hiding a secret on this island that'll make fans shit themselves with excitement. If you like Trapper, you're gonna love it. And if you're not a maggot, also, everyone, even confident, sexy ladies in rabbit masks, better stay the hell away from my yacht.
And time's up. Gosh, you'll need to dream about these options so you're ready to choose in the morning.
Now go dream about all the sweaty, swoon-worthy options that you're ready to make when the choice comes on.
Have a swell night. Did you two forget to mention something?
Oh gosh, how could we forget? Before you run off to slumber peacefully, there's one more thing to do.
No reality survival dating competition parody would be complete without singling out one of our contestants who is already teetering on the edge of a psychological break.
And giving them a little push.
Hold up. This has been a survival dating competition parody this entire time, and I'm just now finding out about it? Come on, the signs were there. You just didn't read them.
Welcome to Murderer's Island.
It's now time to eliminate one of the killers. Oof. It's like a butchering, but it hurts even worse. You can't kill a killer, but you can break their heart. Do you dare even try? I mean,
That's right. Tomorrow one of these sexy snipers will not be eligible to take you on a date. Who's it gonna be?
but why? Because it's dramatic?
Because it's surprising?
Because it's a classic reversal of fate?
And you will hurt someone else's feelings. Someone dangerous.
What's it gonna be, champ? What's your thought process here? Trapper seems like he might throttle you in your sleep if you eliminate him. That being said, at least you'd see him coming. Spirit could be anywhere. She floats. And I hear she can disappear. Hard to track. And if you get rid of Wraith, he might cry. And although I totally support normalizing men crying and being vulnerable, it just seems like he might be an ugly crier. Huntress, she might pretend to be okay with it, but you'll start seeing her behind every tree. What I'm saying is, I don't envy you, boss. So, which sociopath are you eliminating? I'm getting rid of Wraith. The fuck? Look, I'm here and I'm horny. And I'm not really getting positive reinforcement from you, Wraithy Poo. Please don't take this personally. It's just my opinion of you and who you are and what you're about deep down as a person and how I don't like it. You remind me of myself back in 2012 when I was having the whole... I was really big in my emo phase, and you just look like you cry listening to Dashboard Confessional. Like, give me something, you know? A kiss, a wink, hold my hand, finish telling me about this mysterious stuff you're obsessed with. Or better yet, don't. Wraith rises, taller than you have ever seen him, and calmly walks to the exit. Before he leaves, he turns to you. When you came here, I thought perhaps you would be different. I don't know how my last bit of hope in humanity hadn't been snuffed out, but it wasn't. It is now, just like the rest of them. There's no hope of goodness here. The only thing I can do is try to escape by listening to Ohio is for Lovers by Hawthorne Heights. Or burn everything and everyone to the ground. He leaves. Thank God. Pretty badass exit. I was not expecting that.
And now you've broken the heart of someone heartless. You should go get some shut-eye.
And don't worry too much about the broken heart you've left behind. Because,
of course, they'll be receiving a consolidation prize. They might not get to go home with the uwubito when this is over, but they'll never sleep alone again.
That's right, we're sending out our eliminated player home with... a trickster body pillow? Their own
mostly new trickster body pillow. The next best thing to a real trickster. It might not hug you back, but it definitely won't try and stab you. And how do we know? Because I've tried it. That's right, it's Dwight tested and approved.
Claudette approved. I hope you sleep well tonight, Uwubito. You're my hero for what you've accomplished. How can you sleep tonight knowing what you've done? No, not because of the guilt. I mean, knowing that there's a legit homicidal maniac who hates you so close by. How can you sleep tonight knowing that you'll die? What you'll do tomorrow? I don't know how you'll do it, but you better go after Dwight and Claudette. Come back and put you into sleep themselves. You know those two. Schedule, schedule, schedule. Wow. What a cozy way to end the day. An elimination. I didn't even know it was that kind of a game. Let's check in with anyone, especially with our loser. Everyone deserves a send-off. We'll see how things go tomorrow, I suppose. I'm not expecting anything. I tend to shut my mind off during hard times. I know I seem all excited and devil may care, but truth is, I'm really a pessimist at heart. That tends to happen when your mother is skewered by an elk when you were young. Yeah, how'd you know? Wild guess. It's also the only thing you talk about. If you'll excuse me, I think I saw a raccoon over in that tree, and I'm feeling peckish. I know I said some things when uwubito kicked me to the curb, but I just want to say I'm embarrassed for how I acted. Not what I said, though. I stand by it. I want everyone here to burn.
How nice you think you're going? It's a matter of perspective. If Uwubito's goal is to impress me, then things are going poorly. But if Uwubito's goal is to get themselves killed, they're doing an amazing job.
Did I think there was a chance I might get eliminated? Yeah, I did. Did I care if I got eliminated? Not even a little. Does the volume of words I spent talking about how I don't care about things signify a deeper yearning within me to be seen, heard, and validated by those around me? Nah. What? No, you're not part of this. Don't get it. You don't get a confessional. It's cool, man. I'm not a part of anything, you feel me? I'm not a cog in anyone's machine. I'm my own machine. This whole thing is pretty cute, though. Charmingly low budget, old school marketing vibes. Not gonna lie, kinda wish I wasn't so busy right now. I'd definitely be down with a reality show style dating competition with survival elements. But I got my new album, upcoming tour, finalizing the new sneaker line, producing a limited series on my life, started a new social media NFT crypto app. No fucking way. And doing these private gigs over on IP Island. My dudes, you gotta come check it out. IP Island, it's dope. It's where the real killers are hanging out. Fully licensed, no legal drama, lawyers, take a hike. I'm gonna tell everyone that Trickster said that about them, don't worry. I'm talking your favorite established characters from all over pop culture that can't be seen on this island. Hell, you probably can't even mention them. Like Don't you say it. Look, we get it. You're very popular in demand. But we have a game to get back to, and I don't want to get sued. Ghostface. Come on. Whatever. I don't even care. I'm the trickster. See you around, uwubito. You too, narrator. I have a name, you know. You do? Yes. Seriously, they do not pay me enough to deal with you people.
Is it my turn?
What? No, it's not your turn. You're sentient water. How are you even sitting in that chair?
What's a chair?
It's the thing you're getting all wet. Now it's gonna smell like mildew.
Okay, rude.
Fine. Let's just get this over with. It's your turn, Ocean. Do your check-in.
Check-in? I was just looking for the bathroom.
Bathroom? Are you serious? It's down the hall to the left.
It's okay, never mind.
Never mind? What does that mean? No, not you two. This wasn't meant to be a confessional time for literally every character in this game. It's okay. We don't have to confess anything. We've been working our asses off for 2 days straight and wanted to sit down somewhere.
This chair is wet.
Yeah, I think the Ocean just peed on it. How is that You know what? I don't care. You two are looking pretty pleased with yourselves.
I've got something to confess.
Oh, great. What's it gonna be? You ate glue in the 2nd grade. You cheated on an algebra test once.
Watching Wraith get eliminated was the first time in this unending spiral staircase of pain that is my life that I've ever felt a modicum of joy. Every minute that I'm alive in this nightmare, this place, this sun, these sweet sugary drinks, it sounds fun for a long weekend, but for an eternity? The unrelenting rhythm of crashing waves and wailing seagulls, it's like a crescendoing song of evil that makes me question the very foundation of the universe. Why am I here? Why are any of us here? What kind of sentient being would do this? Please erase me from this existence. Make it so I was never born. Pull the plug from this experiment and let my soul be free. And please get me out of this polo shirt.
Okay, let's get you to bed, buddy.
I don't want to go to bed. Going to bed means eventually I'll have to wake up.
Yikes, that was a weird way to end. Well, what are you gonna do? You let the camera roll long enough, someone is bound to say something crazy. Anyway, seems like everyone's had their shot to annoy me tonight, so hit the hay, get some rest. Tomorrow's gonna be a doozy. And I'm gonna end this here. Pick it up next time. I will check y'all later, do the YouTube thing, and, ooh woo.